Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mark from Right Line Trading, and I just wanted to show you how remarkably accurate the Trend 3 system was today on a number of markets. It was really impressive. Now, today was not the easiest day to trade, I can tell you. But if you took the Trend 3 signals, you were extremely successful. And I'm just gonna point out some entries, and we're also going to look for losers, which is really important. Now, here's your first trade right here, right at the open. This is the Russell at 932. There's the Trend 3 short with order flow, stochastic and momentum. Down you go. It blows right through the pivot. A terrific signal and a huge trade. Now, nothing repaints, so doing this in retrospect is extremely accurate. It's 47 ticks. Now, we never take a counter trend move, and we don't trade when there's no background bias. Now we have a lot of chop here with no trades and no alignment. Now we have no ability to take this trade short. Now, this is actually a break of the pivot with order flow, and down you go. This is sort of trade configuration number 2. The first one is on a down arrow. Second configuration is on a break of the pivot with order flow, stochastic and momentum. Down you go. Can't take this continuation trade. Now, here's a small trade right here. Nothing huge, but it's a winner. No counter trend signals. You see this short trade? Order flow is aligned to the upside. You can't take it. In addition, you have the pivot. No trade, no order flow, stochastic, and momentum. There's your trade. It's a little bit tough. In fact, I wouldn't take that trade. There's no background bias, and you're still trading into support. There's your next trade. Down you go, right here. Pivot break, no trade. Order flows aligned to the upside, and you get your bounce. Can't take your trade to the short side. Now let's keep going. No trades here. This is a winner, but you can't take it without background. And there's your trade. Look at that trade. It just blows right through the pivot. There's your next trade. It's a pivot breaker with order flow, stochastic, and momentum aligned to the downside. There's your next trade. Boom. Now this is 10:30. You already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 winners. So we'll move on from the Russell. I mean, this is a lot of money. Let's take a look at crude. Okay. Let's go to the morning. Look at that signal. Pink background. Candles outlined in magenta. You have order flow, stochastic, and momentum. You're in here. It's early in the morning. It's 8:24, but not that early. There you go. Now your pivot breaker does not occur with order flow, stochastic, and momentum. It's a winner, but you just cannot take it. This is a way oversold move. Nothing here. Look at that winner. It's unfortunate, but there's no background. Again, another winner. Unfortunate, there's no background to trade. So it's just not a trade. There's your trade, the continuation trade with order flow, stochastic, and momentum to the downside. Just wait for your trades, and there's where they come. Another trade, killer signal. There's the break of the pivot. Up you go. Now, there's the pivot, break, order flow, stochastic, and momentum. Up you go. There are absolutely no losers. Now, here is what I perceive is your first potential loser. Right here. Here you're trading into the 15. Here, you're about a third above. You have not quite broken it. So it's really a gray zone trade. You want your candle body to be 2/3 above support or resistance. So it shouldn't have been taken if you did. No order flow, stochastic, and momentum. No background. Now here's your trade. We're 1150. That's a small trade, and that's a nice trade. So you really already have, even before you get here, you have one winner, two winners, three winners, four winners. We have to skip these because we don't have background, but you've got your exponential oscillator entry, four winners, five winners. Now, if you're trading the Russell and crude, you've got yourself 11 or 12 winners, and you're done. But let's take a look at the Dow. But the Dow's on a slower chart. It's on a 10, 4, 20. And I have not looked at this today. So you and I are going to be looking at it together for the first time. A lot of movement today. Let's go back to the beginning. And let's take the NYSE open. Now, unfortunately, at 9:31, you have no background. So that's the key. There's your pivot break with order flow, stochastic, and momentum. It's a multi-time frame assessment to the downside, and you've got yourself a winner. Now, this is a loser. The first loser we found is a pivot break with the alignment of all three parameters, but it doesn't go anywhere. Here, this pivot break is a winner. This pivot break is a winner. So we got three winners, but we do pull in one loser here. We have no trade into the pivot. Here we just can't take this trade. We have no background. Pivot break. Down we go. It's our fourth winner. No background. Trading into support. Same thing here. Here's the pivot break. No order flow, stochastic, or momentum. Saves you a loser. There's the pivot break. Look at that trade. That's the fifth winner. Did pull in one loser, but no system is going to give you 100% winners all the time. No trade here. Unfortunately, no trade. Background bias is clear. It's too bad. You know, pivot break here. See, there's no order flow, stochastic, and momentum. There's your pivot break. And there's your next winner. So the Dow, an enormous cash cow market. So you can see just how imprecise these signals are. Just a few rules. We only trade with pink or green background. We're short below the 50, long above the 50, when we never take a counter trend trade. Really simple rules. And if you obey those rules, the pivot break, remember, you've got a lot of buyers in this pivot who turn the trade up. And when you break the pivot, you're going to stop those buyers out and push this thing down. And when you have a multi-time frame assessment of momentum and stochastic, and a really precise multi-time frame assessment of order flow in your direction, you have a very high likelihood that that trade is going to head down in your direction. So you would have had three cash cow markets today. The Dow, the Russell, and crude. Tomorrow I'll show you three other markets. We can look at the NASDAQ. We can look at gold. We can look at the 6E. They all trade this way. The signals are precise. Doesn't matter what. I'm looking at Unorenco. Maybe in the future we'll take a look at some minute candles or some tick charts. It's all irrelevant. So listen, have a great afternoon. I hope you were as successful trading as you would have been taking the signals off this system. Have a terrific afternoon.